Hello and welcome to Help, I'm a Teacher. My name is Alistair and this is Lesson Plan Sunday, where every Sunday I drop a new lesson plan or lesson idea, full printables, full resources in the description below. Okay, today's a fun one. I love this one. I love this. I use this all the time. If it's not my alien story like I did last week, description below, this is definitely number 2. So today's lesson is all about code breaking. It's such a good one. I've written up a small story. I don't think I've ever said the same story twice. I kind of make it up as I go. I've written a story which is pretty close to what I always say. If you want that, it's in the description below. Like most of my lessons, I split it up into a 5-10-10-5 rule. So the first 5 minutes, I usually read the story. It's just a normal day for you. You're a super secret spy. You have taken down some of the biggest, baddest guys and gals from all over the globe. You're cool, you're smart, you're incredible. But wait, what's this? You open a piece of paper that was sent in a letter by an unknown person. You see some bunch of lines and dots and weird square shapes. I'm so confused. It appears to be some sort of message. You really start scratching your head. But I'm smart, I'm cool, I'm incredible. Why can't I read this? You realize this must be a message from your arch nemesis, Mr. E. Guy, he always slips through my fingers. I've taken down all these international criminals, but never Mr. E. And he just sits there taunting me. Well, not this time. I'm going to break his code and bring him down. Okay, so that's the story. So that's usually the first 5 minutes of the class. And it's a little bit of fun. Depending on your rapport with the class, you can get as stupid or as serious as you like. It's a real fun one for class engagement. Now, resource-wise, all the resources you need are linked in the description below. So that's the code key, and also the story, plus the full lesson plan as well. You got the resources, you've read the story. Now what I like to do is I usually put this code up on the board before the class. So the code is a series of lines and dots, which represents a letter in the alphabet. Once you've read the story, you can get the kids to look at the code and just ask them as a class, hey, does anybody know how to read this? Is there any way that we can break this code? Does it make any sense? While you sort of get an idea, you say, what do you think this code is? And you try to draw out that it's probably each one of those represents a letter. However you want to do this is really up to you. Make it that you've cracked the code. I kind of like to think of the silly criminal where he's written his message and he's actually got the code key on the back. So you say, that's silly, Mr. E. He's written the code key on the back of the message. We can use this code key to figure out the message. Now, however you want to play, that's really up to you, but I like that one. It's kind of fun. The kids really do get a laugh out of it. But you basically have the A to Z and have the code underneath. And again, as I said, all these resources are in the description below, but you can make your own code. It really doesn't matter. So then we've got the code up on the board. As a class, we break the code. So you go through and there's that symbol. There it is there. It represents an A or a B or a C, etc., etc. And then as a class, we all break the code on the board, which is something along the lines of, haha, you'll never catch me. I'm too smart for you. Again, all those resources are in the lesson plan below. So once you've broken the code on the board, you get the kids to work in pairs. So what they're going to do is they're going to use the code that's on the board. So we've got the alphabet on the board with the codes. I want them to use the symbols to make their own message. But this time they're actually writing a letter back to Mr. E to say, ha ha ha, we have found you. We know where you are. We have broken your code. Now, however they want to do it is completely up to them. Maybe 2 sentences is enough. You don't want them to take too long. It's only 10 minutes. Now, once they've finished their code, you can get them to swap with another group or pair in the class, and they can break each other's code using the code key on the board. Now, you can do this on an A4 piece of paper or in the mathematics book or whatever book's available to you, but I highly recommend using an A4 piece of paper for this one. When they do the next task, you can go around and mark the work. This takes us into the consolidation part of this lesson where I get the kids to return back to their seats. It's individual. I want them to come up with their own code, and I want them to think about different shapes or different dashes. They can use the same one on the board, but I tend to like if they can use their own, do their own code key and write their own code. They're now writing Mr. E, who's now in jail. Now you've got all this time on your hands, why don't you try and break my code? I think this is a really fun one and the kids love it. I also encourage kids to say, hey, you can use these codes and give it to your friends so you can send secret messages to each other. Nobody will know what it says. All right, with the last 5 minutes, I usually get the kids to come sit down on the floor. We do in pair work, they read their code out, they show their codes to the class, they show the different keys, what kind of symbols they use. Fantastic little 5-minute conclusion at the end, and it works really, really well. It's a really fun code breaking lesson that you can use from anywhere from, say, year 3 or 4 all the way up to year 5 and 6. You can change and adjust it. It's as flexible as the class that you're in. It's a lot of fun. And I tell you what, if you do this, I believe the kids are going to really enjoy it and your lesson is going to fly. And just like my last week where I talked about Alien Story, this is another one that you can do super secret spy, code breaking style lessons all day. So you can write your own spy story as a bit of creative writing. You could do more mathematics lessons. You can go outside and you can do some role play where the kids are being spies and they're taking down Mr. E. They can even draw their own super spy. What does the super spy look like? If you were a super spy, what would you wear? What would you use? Would you have a secret computer? Would you have a watch that does amazing things? And this is great as a full theme for a full day. If you've got any ideas, or if you use this lesson, why don't you let us know in the description below. I hope you had a fantastic day. I love doing this. I'm really excited. Check out my Teaching Tips Tuesday on Tuesdays, and every Sunday I post more lesson plans. But until then, my name is Alistair. This is Help I'm a Teacher, and bye for now.